You are listening to Unstoppable Actors, the essential podcast for ambitious, aspiring actors. With me, Louise, the artistic director of Standby Method Acting Studio. And every week, I'll be talking with you and sharing how you can become a paid, working, unstoppable actor, because you 1000% can. An acting career is doable. Are you ready? Hello and welcome to another episode of the Unstoppable Actors podcast. I'm so excited to have you here. If you are a regular listener, welcome back. It is so good to have you tuning in to each and every episode that is released. And if you are a brand new listener, hello, welcome. I'm Louise. I'm the founder. I'm the artistic director of Standby Method Acting Studio. And I'm so glad you've come across the podcast because I can help you go from being an unknown actor to an unstoppable actor. I've got almost 13 years experience of coaching actors and taking them from blank CVs all the way into Netflix dramas, TV soaps, Amazon Prime films, landing representation by some of the most reputable agents in the industry. So you're in good hands. So thank you for being here. Today we're talking about 3 unknown cover letter hacks that absolutely will land you an agent. Now, why am I so assured that these 3 hacks will land you an agent? Because it worked for me. I used all 3 of these hacks when I returned to the acting industry in 2022 after having a humongous break, and I was pretty much starting from scratch again. I used all 3 of these and I landed an agent, and I also got multiple offers from other agents, and I also got responses from agents who weren't offering me representation. That's a good thing because it means that the cover letter is working. It means it's been read from beginning to end. It's not just been skim read. And I had more responses overall than I've ever had in my acting career ever before I took the big break. So that's why I know this is going to work for you. There is a prerequisite to this though, and that is it doesn't mean the first agent you write to is going to be the one that offers you representation. You have got to write to as many agents as you possibly can. You've just got to be consistent. You already know this though, don't you? You know, even if you're a brand new actor or you've been at it for a while and you'd class yourself as a jobbing actor, you know that you've got to be consistent because we know this is an oversaturated industry. What that means is there's way more actors than there are jobs available, then there are spaces available on agents' books. So we've got to be consistent. So bear that in mind when you are putting these 3 hacks to use and you're sending out your cover letters. Let's just dive into what actually frustrates actors and can make them stumble when it comes to cover letters. And again, I know this because I'm talking from experience. We can get ourselves in a bit of a spin with, what do I write? How long should the letter be? What if I've got nothing to say, like nothing big's happened in my acting career, then what do I actually say in it? And we can spend hours and hours and hours deliberating over whether what we're writing is good enough, or we can spend hours and hours and hours staring at a blank screen thinking, oh my God, where do I even start? And we can also start to get caught up in the actual words that we're writing. So maybe we feel we've wrote and in a sentence too many times, or we've wrote the word meeting too many times in short proximity in a sentence. We can start really overthinking that everything that's in there, and we don't want that. The other thing we can overthink as well is whether we're sounding sincere or cringy or arse kissy or too arrogant. I hope this episode really puts all of those worries to bed because they are easier than you probably think or imagine right now to write. These 3 hacks are really going to help you. So let's get into this then. Let's not dilly-dally around anymore. Let's just get straight into them. The first hack for a good cover letter that's going to get read from beginning to end is you have got to include lots of white space. What do I mean by that? I mean, between the short paragraphs, maybe press the return key twice or 3 times as opposed to once. What that does is it tricks the brain into seeing all of this white space and thinking, oh, this is very easy to read. That's how you get your reader, in this case an agent, from beginning to end of the cover letter, rather than them just skimming it or just reading the first paragraph, and then pressing delete. So that's what I mean by white space, the white space in between the paragraphs. So press the return key either twice or 3 times. In fact, press it 3 times, see what it looks like. If it looks like there's too much white space, just delete once and only have, I don't know how to explain this, but yourself having pressed the return key twice. Does that make sense? I hope it does. But definitely don't press the return key only once between paragraphs, because then it's just going to look too clumped together and it looks harder to read, and we want to make it easier for the reader. So that's the first thing. I can't remember how many times I pressed it, whether it was twice or 3 times. I'd have to go back into my cover letters to have a little look at that. But I know that is what has helped me get more responses, whether it's the offers, the setup of meetings, or even just the responses of we haven't got space for you right now. What I really love about the fact that I was getting responses from, a good number of agents also saying we don't have space right now is that actually a good number of agents said we don't have space. However, I can recommend this agent. That's never happened in my acting career before. Part of this is down to this white space that I keep talking about. So you have got to get the white space in your cover letters. I hope that is making sense. So just to reiterate, it's the white space between the paragraphs. Now, the second hack is to get a testimonial of your acting work in there. Now, if you're a brand new actor and you're like, oh my God, but I've done no work, where am I going to get a testimonial from? Just go and ask a secondary school teacher or a high school teacher or someone you've done amateur dramatics with or a student film with. It's a start. Everybody has to start from zero. Everybody has to start from scratch. Don't even worry about where it's come from. The fact that you've got one and can get one, that's the main thing. Now, if you've been at this for a while, you've probably got choice over the directors that you could approach. Maybe approach them all for a review or a testimonial of your work if you haven't already got one. You've got to get that in your cover letter, because this is a third party endorsement of you as an actor, of how good you are. It's a way of you saying in your cover letter, hey, I can act, I'm reliable, I'm passionate, I'm determined, I'm good for you to have on your agent's books, without you actually having to say it yourself and feeling icky. So a testimonial or a review is very, very, very important. And I can absolutely share that having those testimonials in my cover letter is what has got people's interest peaked, and the people are the agents. Because like I've already said, it's somebody accounting for you as an actor without you having to say, I'm amazing, because that just feels weird, doesn't it? Nobody wants to write a letter going, I'm an amazing actor, take me on. Like having a review in there or a testimonial allows the agent to build trust in you because somebody else has said it, is saying how good you are. So get one in there. And then the third hack is to put your personality into the cover letter. You can be professional in the way you write things, but don't be dry, don't be bland, because ultimately your personality is a part of your brand. And you're representing your brand when you're writing these cover letters. Now, I know some people find this a bit hard because some people either go right to the extreme end and write the letter so informal that there's not an air of professionality in it at all, or some people go right to the other end and it's so professional, like, I don't really know how to get my personality in there. So let me share with you an example of how I did this. So what I shared in my cover letter is that I'm an actress returning after having had a break. So I could write that. I could write, I've had a break from the industry and I'm returning. That does not have an ounce of my personality in there. It's telling the truth, of course, but it's boring, it's bland. Part of my personality as Louise, which comes into my brand as an actress, which is completely different to Standby Method Acting Studio, is that I'm bubbly, I am high energy, I'm relaxed, and I'm amiable, I'm friendly. I mean, some of these things are obviously going to come into Standby as well, but that's a different brand. My brand as an actress is those 4 things. It's not just those 4 things. Obviously there's work ethic in there as well, and there's lots of other things in there, but that's what I want to come across in my cover letters. So what I actually wrote is, I'm an actress returning to the acting industry after having had a break, and I'm back with a bang. Now, can you see how that's made a difference? I'm comfortable writing that and I'm back with a bang, because then I could give examples of how I was back with a bang. And that was that I'd got cast in a film. I turned my first audition, this is the truth, I turned my first audition back into the industry into a paying job. That's me being back with a bang. So that's why I was okay saying that. So you're not going to copy my words because you've got a different personality to me. But I want you to get your personality in there. Give your cover letters a lick of your personality throughout them. It doesn't have to be in every single sentence that it's high energy and big and, but just pepper it through, actually, is what I'm trying to say. Pepper your personality throughout the cover letter, because then the agents who are reading it see a human rather than just another dull letter. So let's just recap then these 3 hacks. Number 1, you want to use white space, lots of white space between paragraphs to make it look easier to read. Number 2, you need a testimonial of your work in there so the agent reading the letter trusts you. Number 3, you need to pepper your personality throughout the letter so it sounds like a human and not a robot writing this. Now, honestly, these 3 hacks, if you use them right away, will definitely increase the responses that you get, and you will get an agent at some point. As I've already said, I'm not saying the first agent that you write to is going to offer you representation. Don't be naive and under the illusion, but one of them somewhere will. You just got to be persistent and consistent. Remember that, persistent and consistent. However, if you're listening to this podcast and you're like, oh, do you know what? I just wish someone could write cover letters for me. I love what you've said, Louise. It all makes sense, but I still find them really stressful to write. I need some help with them. Don't worry. I have a solution for you. How would you like the exact word for word cover letters that I used to land my agent, my current agent? And how would you like the exact cover letter that I used to land my first ever role back into the industry? If you would like these, I would love to give them to you. I've popped the link underneath this episode of the podcast. It is directly underneath it. I'm not only going to give you those 2 cover letters, I'm also going to give you a cover letter that will help you land more theatre jobs as well as film jobs. And I'm going to give you a cover letter to ask for feedback so you actually get it, because I always get feedback. And I'm also going to give you a mini video series on how to market yourself better as an actor, with loads of marketing tips that I would say a good 98% of actors either don't know about or aren't using. And this is going to help you stand out from the crowd, get ahead with your acting, get more acting jobs. I've given you a £20 discount. It's not available forever. So if you want that, click the link underneath this podcast. If you want my word for word cover letters, so you don't have to write them, you can literally just add in your name, your own review, and then get them sent off, which will save you loads of time stressing. Just click the link underneath this podcast. Once you've made your payment, you will get the link where you can download them straight away. You will get instant access to them. This will change your career. And if you've enjoyed this episode, please do leave us a review as well. It really helps us spread the word of the Unstoppable Actors podcast. I know I say this all the time, but honestly, when I was first getting started with an acting career, if I'd have had a resource like this, it would have saved me so much time. I had to just research so much and it took me absolutely forever. There was nothing about like this when I was first starting. So when you leave a review, it helps me help more actors like yourself. Go and download the cover letter bundle. So you can just use my templates and you don't even have to think about what to write because it's already been written for you. And please do leave us a review as well. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye. I have absolutely loved hanging out with you, and I really hope you enjoyed this episode of Unstoppable Actors, the essential podcast for ambitious, aspiring actors. Now, if you did, I'd really love you to subscribe so you never miss an episode, and leave a review. And if you would like weekly injections of inspiration, you'd like mini method acting challenges to keep you making progress with your dreams, come and join the most supportive acting community online by clicking the link in the notes to help you become an unstoppable actor.